this video, I attempt to design a black dragon-inspired outfit, starting with the dress. The dress itself is a Vogue 2788, while the sleeves are from McCall's 6818. This particular design is heavily inspired by Firefly Path and their pattern for Simplicity 8971. Cut out all of your pattern pieces. These are all for the bodice, including the lining. Clip all your alignment markers. Right sides together, pin the front sides of the bust piece to the front piece. Start with the alignment marker and then work around. The fabric should stretch a little to accommodate the curve. For the back pieces, cut your alignment markers. Line up and pin the back pieces. And sew. Right sides together, pin the front side piece and the back side pieces, and sew, but I left the shoulder strap seams unsewn at this point. Repeat all previous steps for the bodice lining. Right sides together, pin the fabric and the lining together at the neck opening and the back opening at the top. Use seams to help line up the two pieces together. Before you sew them together, iron the bottom part of the lining approximately 5/8 of an inch up. This will be to help finish the inside once the garment is put together. Once sewn, trim off the excess seam allowance. Flip two wrong sides together and press flat with your iron. Baste the armholes together as is. I top stitch the edge as well. Now, with the right sides together, sew the shoulder seams together. Once that's done, set that aside for now. Cut out your sleeve fabric and your linings. Since the upper lining isn't going to be seen, I used some leftover polyester lining from a previous project. With right sides together, sew both outside fabrics and linings together. Here, I serged them. I found this beautiful silver trim and I wanted it at the seam of the sleeve. I measured and cut a little longer than was required, just to make sure that I had enough. Once I sewed it down, I put right sides together and sewed the bottom seam. For for both outer and lining parts. Now, stuff one sleeve into another so that the right sides are facing each other. Sew around the bottom of the sleeve opening. Once sewn, cut off the excess seam allowance. Pull apart and set them right. Press the bottom seam with your iron, and I top stitch it to keep it crisp. Line up the top of the sleeve together using alignment markers, and baste the tops together. Sew the sleeves onto the bodice. Right sides together, pin the side front pieces to the front piece of the skirt. And sew along the full length of the seam. Using the pattern piece as a guide and my 2-color pin technique, mark out where the pleat starts and finishes. Move one set of the pins over to meet the other set of the pins and pin into place. Repeat for the other side. Once pressed with your iron, flip the pleat back and sew where the pleat matches up to keep it in position. And baste the others together at the top to secure everything. Sew side back and back pieces together. Careful, you're dealing with a lot of fabric at this point. Once sewn together and pressed, take the back and front parts of the skirt and sew them together. With the skirt all in one piece now, mark the center of the bodice and the center of the front of the skirt with a pin. With right sides together, match them up and pin. Pin the rest of the waist together using the seams as matching up points. Once sewn, it's time to hide the waist seam with the bodice lining and a bunch of hand sewing. Now put in your zipper. I know you can see the zipper, I'm just happy that the back seams line up. I added a bit of lace at the bottom but I plan to add more.